Yes, I am your host, Ken Joslin, where we help business professionals build confidence, gain clarity, and create community. I have got my good friend. This is a treat today, guys. We've been off air chopping it up for about 10 minutes. I've got my good friend, Jeff Fenster, founder of over 30 Everbowl locations, husband, dad, serial entrepreneur, speaker. He's founded 14 companies, and he's on every list of top 40 under 40 CEOs in America. And he's just an overall super dude, man. And I love this dude and excited for you guys to be able to hear from him. Jeff, what's up, my friend?
What's going on, Ken? Thank you so much for having me. As always, it's speaking and doing these things all the time. It's even more fun when I get to do it with someone that I look up to and admire. And I'm stoked to be on your show with you and here again, true friend of mine. So thank you for having me.
I appreciate it, dude. Hey, I love your office. I love your podcast studio, what you guys are doing. Hey, tell everybody a little bit about top 40 under 40 list nationally. That's obviously that's a big deal. I got a little goosebumps. Look at that, man. I got some goosebumps talking about my boy this morning. Tell everybody about what you're doing. Like, what have you done to make some of those lists?
To be honest, it's just about the daily execution and focusing on what's right in front of you. Like all things, I've never strived for those kinds of things. And they are a byproduct of an amazing team of people that I have with me doing some amazing things and having a good why and being clear in our focus. And the advice I would say to anyone who wants to do those things or is like, hey, that'd be cool to get that involved is don't focus on it. Something I think we've talked about in the past, but it's something I truly believe in is you can't chase things that you want. And that's the biggest mistake people make is they chase money, they chase opportunity, they chase promotions, they chase boys or girls, they chase animals. And when you chase things, they run. And one of the best piece of advice from sports that I can give you is when you look at professional athletes, whether they're golfers or baseball players or boxers, if you ask the best of the best, Tiger Woods, he doesn't hit the ball. He swings his club and the ball just happens to be in the path and he hits the ball that much further. You look at the best baseball players, they just swing and their swing is going through whether there's a ball or not. The fact that it hits the ball is secondary. And that's true in business. And when you chase money or you chase the outcome instead of just doing what's right, you don't actually get as good of an outcome and you're not going to get what you're looking for. So truthfully, just focus on what you're trying to accomplish today. Set those micro goals, set whatever the clear direction that you're trying to get to, be the best at it, and all that other accolades and all that stuff, they just come.
Yeah. So you guys are over how many locations at Everbowl across the country now?
We have 37 open and 112 under development.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Tell everybody a little about Everbowl. If they don't know, like I'm your biggest fan. I think I've got the biggest fan club for Everbowl and Jeff Fenster out there. I'm taking pictures everywhere I am across the country and sending them to you and tagging on Instagram. Tell everybody a little bit about Everbowl and the dream and passion and vision behind that.
Sure. So, Everbowl is a craft superfood chain. What that means is we focus on superfoods, acai bowls, pitaya bowls, basically fruits and vegetables that are loaded with nutrition to be the best version of you. And it's done in a quick serve restaurant style. So think of it more like a blend between fast food without the drive-through. You come in, you get your food quick, you order at the counter and you take it to go. And the whole premonition behind it is actually what you see on the front of my sweatshirt. It's a word in the back of my hat. It's a word that signifies what we're about. It's our true why. And it's a word that we deemed unevolved. And what that basically means is we live in a world now where you can do everything from the seat. You can order food delivered to your house. You can have your groceries delivered. You can have your lawn mowed. You can order people to walk your dog. You can do everything with technology. And that's amazing. But where it's not good is when it gets back to your health. And when you think of your body as your vehicle and keeping this thing working and functioning and being the best version of you, it goes back to the two main things: living actively and eating stuff that's been around forever. And that's the true definition of unevolved: to live actively and eat stuff that's been around forever. And so Everbowl is made from stuff that's been around forever, and hence the word Everbowl. And so our tagline at Everbowl is made from stuff that's been around forever. We are providing the food component of the unevolved lifestyle and promoting that. And we're trying to build that tribe of people around the country that say, you know what, I want to be the best version of myself. And I know it starts with the fuel I put in this body all the time, every day, multiple times. So let's give you that fuel for movement. Let's give you the fuel that enables you to feel good. And when you feel good, you look good. And when you look good, you perform good. And when you perform good, you get everything you want in life. So instead of focusing on your outcome and why you're not where you want to be, or you're not quite there yet, start at the basics. Plant a good seed every day and watch it grow. And I can promise you that the people who eat right and move their body perform better. And it's not just because they were born with this or born with that or have these opportunities. It stems from what you're doing. So just focusing on living an unevolved lifestyle and surrounding yourself with people that are striving to be the best version of themselves. And the best way for us to do that was to address the eating crisis in America. Back to Everbowl. Sorry, I got a little bit on my
you're good,
my soapbox of unevolved.
I love it, dude. I love it.
But there's an eating crisis in America. We know eating bad is bad for us. We all know that. It's like smoking. We've come to the point where we're very clear on what is or isn't good for us. But still the answer is, why do we eat bad food every day? Why are we doing that? The average American eats fast food over 3 times a week. The McDonald's of the world, they're killing it. And the question is still why? And so I reverse engineered the 4 excuses we make to why people make bad eating choices. And they are either it costs too much to eat healthy, it doesn't taste good, it doesn't leave you full and satisfied, or you just can't get it. Accessibility. So Everbowl's mantra, Everbowl's focus, Everbowl's daily mission is to provide craft superfood that's affordable, filling, delicious, and accessible. And if we do that every day, we can continue to build the unevolved lifestyle tribe and provide quality superfoods and grow a nice, fun brand and help everyone be the best version of themselves.
I love that. I've been on my health journey now for a little bit over a year. I'm down about 56, 57 pounds.
Great job.
Dude, when I get out of F45, and if I'm in Phoenix or if I'm in San Diego, like I was the other day, last week, dude, I'm hunting down an Everbowl, dude. I'm stoked about it. And I always send you a picture. I'm like, dude, this is so good. Cause it fuels you. There's a couple things you said today. Dude, number one, I love your passion, dude. I love being around passionate people. There's so many things you said I want to get to. You said earlier when, I read off your Instagram bio, all the accolades. And this is what I love about you. Every great leader who lives through the lens of significance versus the lens of success always deflects and goes, I got a great team. I've got this. I've got that. Where did that come from, Jeff? Where'd you learn that at?
So a mixture of trials and tribulations, and not doing it that way at first, having a big ego earlier on in my life when I first started on my entrepreneurial journey, and then studying the greats and understanding and realizing that what happened was in my first few companies, we would attract great people, and then those great people would leave. So we'd have to find more great people. And the company was doing this. And I kept saying, what's wrong with all these people out there? I was 24, 25, 26, 27. And finally you're looking in the mirror and you're like, what's the common denominator in this problem? Right? It's the person staring back at you. And so I had to realize that I don't need to be I'm not the reason for a lot of the success, but B, I don't need all the credit. I had this insecurity because I was a young business owner back before entrepreneurship was the sexy term, in a field with a lot of, I was 25 when I started my first company, and I was I was doing payroll and human resources. So I was around a lot of people, my senior, that were very accomplished. And I felt like I was not really meant to be there. And so I felt like if I didn't take credit for a lot of the great things that my team was doing, that people would say, why is he the CEO? Who's this kid? Right. These are the smart people around. And so it was an insecurity thing that took time and took me to learn the hard way a little bit. And then I have great mentors, that when I didn't want to hear what they were saying. So they would tell me some things, and I was, 25 with a big ego and was closed off to the advice. But all great mentors know that sometimes all you can do is provide the information and hope that in time, the subject will understand it. And so part of my growth now as a human is understanding what just-in-time learning is, and trust that just in time I will get the information I need. But I want to surround myself with people that are feeding that to me, right?
Was there a moment, was there an aha moment where you just went, okay, it is. Dave Ramsey says it all the time. My worst enemy is a guy I shave with in the mirror every morning. Was there an aha moment for you? Was there a moment where you went, dude, this is me. Like, I'm the issue.
Yes, it was actually the last year that I had my payroll and human resource company, and we had this incredible salesperson, incredible. And that's my gift, right? I'm probably best at that one element in business. And so I felt even more challenged internally, not for any reason. I mean, remember, he works for me. I make money every time he sells something. So it was in my best interest for him to kill it. And he was killing it, and he was getting all the credit. And I had this ego problem. where I was feeling it. And he came into my office and he's like, hey, Jeff, I think this is great. I'm making a lot of money, but I'm not feeling fulfilled here. And he kind of challenged me. He's like, in a way, you're really keeping me down. And I remember leaving that meeting pissed at him, going home, venting to my wife, again, same thing. And then having that, why does this keep happening? And then it's you, dummy. And it was me in the mirror, and what would happen if all that changes? What would happen if instead of me trying to bring everyone down and standing on them to rise up, I elevate them and be part of that journey, remembering the bigger mission? And so I made a conscious decision that day to try it. And from that second, everything I touched, every team I built, every company just went exponentially bigger, better, and greater. And I've attracted better people, both personally and professionally. And so I went from the non-believer to the preacher on it.
It's we talk at Growth Stack Drive, like, dude, my mantra is significance over success. I spoke on a stage in 2000 or 2001 between John Maxwell, Tommy Barnett, and one of my mentors, Jeannie Mayo, about 8,000 leaders, 9,000 people. And she sat me down the next day at lunch and she looked at me. She goes, Ken, do you want to be significant or do you want to be successful? And I was 32 years old. I thought I had the world by the tail, right? I thought I was the guy. I'm speaking on the stage with these, heroes of the faith, Dr. John Maxwell, 21 irrefutable laws. And Jeannie sits me down and goes, do you want to be significant or do you want to be successful? And that's been a 20-year journey to lean into that. Mm-hmm. Tell me about, because dude, every time I talk to you, you go from, 15 stores to 25 stores to 30 stores to 115 or what the number you said just a minute ago. Tell me about the level of impact that you're having, not just in the business realm, but the level of impact you're having on your teams and the level of fulfillment you get to live at because you live a life of significance.
Sure. It's been incredible to see the power that this brand has taken in and of itself, and watching this collection of people come together to further push it, right? Like what's cool is what started as a little seed and an idea has now gotten bigger, different, and greater than I would have imagined. And it's going in ways we never thought possible. We went from being a corporately run chain of superfood restaurants where we didn't invite people to come and join us as franchisees, even though we had hundreds of requests. We thought we could just do it great internally and you could join us from our corporate side, but we kept a small, nimble team. And COVID obviously created us a situation where we had to pivot. So we did, and we looked at different ways to survive and thrive, because you don't just want to survive, you want to thrive. Right. So with that, we started franchising. And as a result, now we're enabling others to become business owners or entrepreneurs, to take control of their financial freedom, to have input and say in the direction of this company. And it's kind of like crowdfunding, crowdsourcing, if you will. We are crowdsourcing the future of the company with our franchisees, with this direction. So to talk about the impact, I think I mentioned to you probably offline, just in friendship, but our very first franchisee was the very first kid I ever hired at Everbowl back in 2016. Yeah. He was 23 when he became a franchisee, and he was 19 when he joined the team at Everbowl. And he went from starting as, hey, let me just work what was a minimum wage job selling acai bowls, to owning his own business in 4 years. And now he wants a second one. His brother joined us and was employee number 11, and he owns one, and he's now building his second one. And so these young adults are finding ways to kill it financially, kill it professionally, and basically learn the tools, what I deem my success formula, to be successful, right? They're seeing how businesses run at a young, early age, and they're surrounding themselves with great people. And so, again, we're building this this tribe of people that want to live an unevolved lifestyle. We're building this tribe of young business owners, and not just young. We're selling franchises to people of all ages. What's powerful to me is the ones who are so young that this is their first foray, and they went from no money in the bank to now a business owner making six figures. That's amazing, right? A lot of our franchisees are already well-established financially, right, and they're going to help further and promote the brand. And while that's amazing too, it's a different level, right? Because the dad in me feels very fatherly.
The definition of fulfillment is a satisfaction or happiness as a result of fully developing one's ability or character. And really what you're doing is not just even developing yourself, but you're helping develop guys that probably without what you're doing would not be where they're at today.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, talk to business owners and business professionals out there today. Cause dude, you're a rare freaking breed, bro. I'm just telling you. And that's what I love about our boot camp we've got coming up and the relationships that I've been able to build is you're not only crushing it in business, you're not only helping people win at high levels. Really what I say when I talk about significance is helping people on our team win at levels that they have never won at before. Mm-hmm. And you living at a high level of fulfillment. Talk about that level of fulfillment, dude. Like, let me see that smile when you talk about those cats that are out there crushing it because of what you've done.
Well, I mean, I think I want to believe this is true for everybody, but when you go from the phase of you don't have enough to you have plenty, and you realize that doesn't fulfill you, that just gave you the foundation to now go get fulfillment. Financially, I made a lot of money in my life. There was a time I didn't, and early on, and it was all about making money. And then finally you make that money and you realize it didn't satisfy that thirst in life. So what does? And then all of a sudden that building of something bigger than yourself is really what it is. And a lot of people start giving back. And that's hopefully what most people would do in that situation. And, is to get that level of fulfillment, to watch others grow and develop and be a part of their story, because that's the fulfilling side, is helping everyone. The foundation at Everbowl and business for me is make friends and have fun. And when you get to empower people to have fun every day and live their best version of themselves, I mean,
dude, it's awesome.
It's rewarding.
You can see it all over your countenance, bro. I had a conversation with Greg Reed last week. I had Greg on, Greg. I had Greg on last week. He's speaking at our boot camp in Scottsdale as well. And I was introduced to another guy from another friend that I did not know knew Greg, who went through a really rough season in his life. And when Greg's name got mentioned, we both were like, oh, dude, Greg was one of those guys a year ago when I first started this journey. I had him on an Instagram Live. Dude, nobody even knew who I was. I mean, before Brad Lee's podcast, before speaking at 10X with Grant, before all that, Greg said, dude, offline, he goes, hey, if you're ever in California, dude, come spend some time with me. And I'm like, I'm going to be there in 10 days, as a matter of fact. And he's like, here's my address in Carlsbad. You got 90 minutes. We wound up spending 2 hours together. And I told Greg the other day, I said, dude, I would not be where I am today had it not been for you really giving me permission in your living room that day when I'm just going, dude, this is what's on my heart. Here's what I want to do. And I asked him the other day on the podcast, I said, dude, what's it like seeing guys around the country that your thumbprints on, knowing this individual is there and my DNA is in there as well. Talk about some of the mentor. You mentioned mentorship earlier. It's huge. I had a conversation with a young kid this weekend who's crushing it, dude. He's 20 in his early 20s, making a couple $1 million a year. He's wanting to buy a McLaren. He looked at me and that's what I said.
Sounds like a 20-year-old thing.
I said, hell no. I said, if you think some of the things are bad now, like, because he's trying to figure it out. And I just said, dude, no, just let's figure it out in some different ways. But talk to me about some of the mentors you've had and the difference and impact they've had in your life, Jeff.
Well, again, I've had incredible ones. Obviously, I think we met through one of my mentors, David Meltzer, lifelong family friend, has been there as a beacon of what to do and what not to do for, 37 years, 36 years I've known him. We're even writing a book together. It's pretty much done. We just got to finish this one last chapter once we can finally get our schedules together. But the power of it has been not just what the challenge that I see a lot, because now I do mentoring as well, is people want some panacea. They want like some prescription, like take this and success, and what it's just not a paint by number situation with mentorship. It's a mixture of, sometimes it's to the point, the example you just used with the McLaren. If I was in my 20s, you weren't going to talk me out of it, which is okay, right? The point is you got to direct and guide, but you know what? Go buy that McLaren. I don't think you should. I think there's more ways to have impact, but go experience that. So once you realize that won't fulfill, that won't satisfy, that won't provide, and you get that regret, you'll understand I know what I'm talking about, and you'll hear the message that I tried to give you today, right? Because you're planting the seeds for tomorrow, and that's what mentorship is. And so, there's times that in my early 20s where I hated Dave, and I used to tell him, "You don't know what the fuck you're talking about."
Didn't he fire you? Didn't you tell me before he fired you?
He fired me like 15 times. I worked for.
Can you imagine those of you guys that are watching that know Dave Meltzer? Can you imagine Dave firing somebody? I mean, he's the ferocious Buddha. I mean, dude, I can't even imagine Dave being upset with somebody or the look on his face when he goes, "Hey, Jeff, you're fired."
Oh, I mean, trust me, we're brothers, right? Like it's family. So when I was 14, 15, 16, 18, 20, I mean, he would fire me and then give me a hug. And I mean, it was just family stuff, but good and healthy and important. And he was also developing. I mean, he went through his ups and downs, right? And that's the power of mentorship is, in a way, it's not a one-way street, right?
Right.
Him having to mentor my dummy young self helped him become better in some ways. And also me watching him fall as someone I was aspiring to learn from helped me in many ways. So it was really a mutual thing, but most importantly is, and I think this is where Dave has really evolved as a mentor over the years, because I got him when he was rough around the edges and a teenager all the way through, is he used to be offended when I didn't take his advice, to now understanding like, no, it's seeds, and you will learn this just in time, right? Like to the 20-year-old who's looking to buy that McLaren. Yeah, just in time learning. I mean, that's been the biggest eye opener for me as a human, is a lot of times this is what keeps people from moving forward. So I'm going to divert a little from mentorship just on this one thing, because it's so powerful, especially for those listening. And that so often we're victim to, I don't yet have what I need, so I'm not going to do anything until I acquire the knowledge, the experience, the capital, the blah, 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 blah. Well, remember, just in time. Start now, because the rest of those ingredients will come just in time. You will learn how to do it just in time. You will get that money just in time. You will figure out and find that opportunity just in time, but you will never get it if you don't start. So start taking those steps today. Do what you can today, and tomorrow will happen. And sometimes you need to do certain things to get to that next step, right? Like you could see a coconut in a tree and you say, I don't know how to climb a tree. Okay. But even if I do climb the tree, I don't know how to open a coconut. So why am I going to climb the tree? Well, that's stupid logic. Figure out how to get the coconut down. Then we'll figure out how to open the coconut, and then we'll drink from it, right? Just in time. So it's important, because that's part of how you build the confidence and how you win stack and how you achieve long-term success.
What do you think keeps people from doing that, Jeff? Is it lack of mentorship? Is it lack of being around people? Is it confidence? Is it insecurity? Is it fear? What do you think are some of the top things that keep people from that?
I think fear is one of the biggest. This fear of failure, this fear of unknown, this idea that if I don't do it, if I do it and it doesn't work, I know the outcome. But right now I don't do it, so I don't know the outcome. So therefore I can always live in this what if. I can always say, well, one day I will. The one day I wills will kill you, because one day you'll be old and you'll have a laundry list of one day I wills instead of one day I dids. And the other piece that people who have been successful will tell you, you learn more from falling down than you do from skating. Truthfully, I'm an ordinary dude who figured out some things to do to be extraordinary in areas, but I'm not blessed with like all this raw talent that so many humans have. And so I had to figure out how to win and compete and be successful despite being ordinary. And in order to do that, I found that talent is some of the biggest limiting factors on people. When you are talented at something and you start, I don't care whether, and I use sports because it's an easy analogy, but it could be reading, it could be sport. But if you pick it up so quickly, so easily on the early on days, well, you're going to reach a level where you're now competing against talent because everyone has improved their skills, and you don't have the work ethic or the understanding on how to fight through the dog days. You give me an ordinary human who had to fight for everything, they're unstoppable, right? So that's why the famous saying, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And talent doesn't work hard at the beginning because it comes easy. The rare exceptions are the Michael Jordans, where it's like they're born with talent and hard work, and it's like, wow, right? I'm
glad you didn't say LeBron, or we'd had to have an argument.
I know the GOAT. There's no question. But realistically, that's what keeps people from moving forward is fear. and they want to say to themselves, one day I will, one day I will, one day I will. And the day you stop saying that, the day you say, no, one day I did, and today's that day, I'm going to do it. And whatever it is, I'm going to do something small. And I think we talked about this before, but the best analogy is set micro goals. You know, one of our core values is Kaizen, get 1% better. And it's easy to say it, but set micro goals, because when you set those micro goals and you hit them, you do something called win stacking. And when you win stack, you build confidence. And when you have confidence, you go further and you build even more confidence. And then that propels you to go further. And so you can look at anybody, whether you're Elon Musk or David Meltzer or Ken Joslin or Carlos Reyes or Greg Reed or any of the amazing people you're going to, and if you're not coming, by the way, to Scottsdale in June.
That was my next question.
You know, there's only
the 11th and 13th. Yeah, we've got like 7 or 8 seats left.
Yep. Please come, because I'd love to meet you, and you're going to get so much value. I mean,
it's going to be insane.
I'm honored to be there to learn from all these incredible people that are going to be there. So join me, because that's what successful people do. They surround themselves with other successful people to learn the things that they need and get that just-in-time information. So going back though, come. But on top of that is it's about that confidence building, because if you're not confident, you're not going to do anything, right? And successful people learn from failure, and the only way you can fail is to try, and the only way you're going to try is to do. So you start doing it, fumble, stumble, learn, fumble, stumble, learn, and eventually you run. And that's the power. That's the secret. It's really so simple that it's like too simple that people don't want to believe it.
Right. I tell people all the time, it's not, this isn't rocket science. This is really, really simple. We've got a couple of concepts. Number one is incremental, not monumental. Small daily disciplined decisions over time always equal monumental results. My vernacular is think first downs, not touchdowns. Just move the ball 10 yards down the field.
Yes.
Dude, I'm a Michigan fan. What do? We run it up the middle. Well, sometimes we run it up the middle. Sometimes we run it, anyway, we're not going to go there. But, just run the ball. Just get 10 yards. Don't stop trying to throw 80-yard Hail Marys. Stop trying to go for the end zone. Just move the ball 10 yards, get a first down, pick up momentum, just like you said just a while ago, stacking wins. In our new GSD planner that we've got, it's at the print shop now. On the right-hand side of the page, we've got for our daily stuff, we've got our goals for the first time. We've got a quote. Everybody writes a quote for the day. Our goals for the first time for the day. Daily, we've got our affirmations, gratitude. Then right below that, we've got our top 3. And then the second half of the day work is our wins. Like, where did we win? Our 1% better. How can I get 1% better? And then our goals for the second time. On the bottom of that planner, we've got, actually, it says scoreboard 1 through 10. You get to literally circle, how did I live today? And I love that one. I love that 1% concept, or 1% better concept. Yep. You talked about the book with Dave. Is it, you got a landing page yet, or is there a way for people to find out about that yet?
It's coming. Not yet, but we'll both promote it. It's about the mentorship side, both from the mentee and the mentor over 30 years, because a lot of times you only get to see a 2-year perspective. But the beauty of this is the evolution of that, and seeing and hearing about a topic. And you get to hear my version and his version coming at it from 2 different angles. So it's really cool, because it's going to give you the 360 view. So whether you're a mentor or a mentee or both, you can think about these things and see it from each perspective. And that's important, right? Because when you can look at something from 2 perspectives, like, you ever seen the 6 and the 9 and 2 people are standing on different sides? You've probably seen this meme or this picture. It's both, right? They're both right, but they're both wrong. If you know what I'm saying. So it's just the angle with how you're looking at it. And it was a fun, powerful experience. And the landing page will be out soon. Dave, if you're watching, let's this is a good memory. Let's sync up.
Let's get this thing done. Yes. Let's get this thing done. What's the best way for people to connect with you, bro?
Obviously, social media is always easy. At Fenster Jeff, at Everbowl Craft Superfood. If you're interested in joining the Everbowl family, we are trying to open more Everbowls and help promote the unevolved lifestyle. Go to everbowl.com, click on franchise tab, fill out that information, and we can at least have a conversation. We're not going to sell you on it. So it's an interview both ways, but find out about the opportunity. And as I tell everyone who does do that, let's both find a reason not to move forward. And if we can't, let's partner and have some fun.
Dude, we've got Greg Reed, Sharon Lecter, Anthony Trucks, Carlos Reyes, and his whole team, Sal, Alex, they'll all be there. Steve Train, Tori Cruz, Scott Duffy, Bill Walsh. Dude, I mean, I've got a killer lineup.
And Ken Joslin.
And Ken Joslin. Why is it important for people to come and get in events like this, Jeff?
Because this is where the magic really happens. In addition to the information that you're going to get, you're going to build the relationships. That's something that you can't buy. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how much information you think you have. Relationship capital is the number one most important capital in the world. And I have a personal book coming out on relationship capital, because that's how part of how I've been successful is who you know in this world and what doors that opens is incredible. So if you get to meet Carlos Reyes and you get to learn from him, but not only become friends with him and have a direct connection to him, and you need something in his world, you want to learn about real estate. I mean, there's almost no one better. It's game changer.
It's a game changer.
You want to get involved and you want to get in the room with other great people, and you can talk to Ken and meet Ken personally and become friends with Ken, where you can say, hey, Ken, I'm in town. I want to come over and have a bowl with you at the local Everbowl in Alpharetta. When you have that opportunity, that's going to open doors for you that you can't even begin to understand today. So getting in that room with great people is not only going to fill your brain with new information, it's not only going to inspire you to get started and begin the seeds to get that momentum going and start your Kaizen journey, but you're also going to expand your Rolodex. And then forget the people on the stage, the people in the room.
That's right.
That tribe is so powerful. I've made incredible relationships and friends from being in the room with like-minded humans that want to achieve that high level of success. And so don't look at it as, I don't need to learn all this stuff. That's okay. That part is truly secondary. Being in that group and surrounding yourself and establishing and developing your tribe, that's going to build so much success for you in the future. So if you don't, just remember, these are the choices, right? Everybody has to make choices on a daily basis. And if you're not where you want to be, or you're not quite there with information or the relationships, or you're like, I just don't know the right people, these are the events to go to. The ones that are obtainable, the ones that are more intimate, because if there's 17,000 people in a room, you're going to learn information from stage, but that's all you're going to get. This is much more of a build community together and enable each other and then hold each other accountable, right? And then what that develops. I mean, me and Ken met, and now I consider you my long lost brother on the other side of the country. And when we get to see each other, it's amazing. And so this is the kind of stuff. So this is why I highly recommend going to these things and finding the right ones that meet what you're looking for. And you'll watch so many things change in your life.
Good. Dude, you're one of my favorite people on the planet. You know that. And I'm excited you're going on vacation. I'm excited you're going to Mexico. And I'm sure your wife and your kids are like, yes.
No kids on this one. It's just actually.
There we go. That's even better, bro. That's even better. Yeah. Come on, man.
Yes.
Well, good. Congratulations. Jeff Fenster, at Fenster Jeff on Instagram. What's the website again? One more time for everyone. Everbowl.com/franchise if you're interested, or just go to everbowl.com. You can click on it. You can learn more about what we do, what we offer, and just what we're trying to build. And if you think this is something you want to be a part of, we'd love to kill it with amazing people and would love to meet you. Awesome, guys. It would be an amazing opportunity. If you're a business owner looking for an opportunity to franchise, it's obviously it's the product, but it's obviously the team and the people behind and the why behind what they do. And if you missed the beginning of the podcast, you've got to go back and listen to Jeff talk about his why, about the uninvolved lifestyle. Absolutely phenomenal. Jeff Fenster, dude, I'll see you in a couple of weeks, man. June the 11th.
Yes,
through the
can't
13th.
wait, man.
We are going to have a blast, dude. It's going to be an epic weekend. If you haven't gotten a ticket yet, I think there's 7 left, 6, 7.
That's it.
That's it, bro. Wow. Yeah, it's it. I mean, I just sold 4 more yesterday. growstackdrive.com/Scottsdale. growstackdrive.com/Scottsdale. I think there's 6 or 7 seats left. We may be able to squeeze 1 or 2 more in there, but it's a really cool event, intimate. We're limiting it to 60 people. With that lineup I mentioned just a minute ago, it literally is absolutely going to be an unbelievable. I mean, it's one world changer after another, dude. It's like drinking water from a fire hydrant all weekend, dude. You're going to be like, oh my, you're going to have to, we've got Q&A breaks and sessions in this thing just so people can breathe. And then, our Q&A, I think we've got you're coming in on Saturday. Right?
I think
Friday.
I think so.
The Q&A guys that we've got coming in are absolutely unbelievable. I mean, we're doing a Q&A with Sharon Lecter, Tracy Dews, Greg Reed, and Scott Duffy. We're doing a Q&A with me, Jeff, Anthony Trucks, Bill Walsh, Carlos Reyes, Sal, and Alex. We've got all these different Q&As that we're doing. It's gonna be Not to mention these guys being able to come in and deliver to you that one thing. Like, what's the one thing that's moved the needle for them in their business? Jeff Fenster, man, I appreciate you, homie.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. Can't wait to see
welcome,
everybody
man.
June 11th
Yes,
to
sir.
13th.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Hey, guys, thanks for joining us today on our Grow Stack Drive podcast. Tomorrow, got another unbelievable time. We're going to be, over the next 10 days, we're going to be joined pretty much by every one of the communicators that we have coming to our boot camp. Brian Bogert is going to be with me tomorrow. Anthony Trucks this week. Just had Greg Reed the other day. It's going to be a phenomenal time. Again, Fenster Jeff on Instagram, everbowl.com/franchise if you want to check that out. Guys, thanks for joining us today on our podcast. I'll see you tomorrow at noon Eastern time. Y'all have an amazing day. Bye-bye.